Hi, today I'm going to tell you the ghost story called Last Dance at the Dewdrop Inn from the book Haunts by Angela Medeiros. Buster Williams was an extremely rich man. Not only that, but he was an honorable one and a kind one, and all the women in town wanted their daughters to marry Buster. So they were all mighty disappointed when he married Jamie Sue, who was the town party girl, and the one everybody said was the most likely to run through his fortune in a hurry. And it sure looked like it was going to be that way, because the first thing she did was make him take her out shopping, buy her all kinds of furniture and sparkly jewelry and brand new clothes, especially a flame red dancing dress and a pair of dancing shoes with diamonds on the heels. Then she'd make him take her out every night to go out to dinner, and then they'd go dancing at the Dewdrop Inn, which was a dance hall a mile or so out of town. Everybody liked to dance at the Dewdrop Inn because there was a handsome piano player there named Willie, who was the best piano player in the state. And Jamie would dance with every single cowboy there as well as with Buster, and she'd flirt with the piano player. But as time went by, Buster got more and more jealous. Didn't want Jamie Sue dancing with those cowboys and flirting with that piano player anymore. Till one day, Buster dropped stone cold dead. Everybody said Jamie Sue poisoned him, but nobody could find any proof, so she got off scot-free. And after that's when Jamie Sue began to have a real good time. Oh, not right at first. She waited a little while for the proper period of mourning to go by. But then, months down the road, she decided it was time to go out and start having fun again. So one night she got all dressed up in that flame-colored dancing dress and put on her sparkly jewelry. And just as she was lacing up those dancing slippers with the diamond heels, she thought she heard a voice in the house. And it said, "Jamie Sue, Jamie Sue, I still want to dance with you." Well, Jamie Sue was mighty frightened. She went looking all over that house, but she couldn't find anybody anywhere, and she couldn't find any other sign that anybody was tricking her, so she finally decided it was her imagination. And she went out to go hitch up the horse to the carriage and go to the Dewdrop Inn. Then she remembered the horse had thrown a shoe that day, and she'd taken it down to the blacksmith's, and it was still there. So she decided she'd have to walk to the Dewdrop Inn. Well, she left the house and began to walk down the dark and lonely road. And as she was walking and passing a big clump of trees and bushes, she heard that voice again. "Jamie Sue, Jamie Sue, I still want to dance with you." Well, Jamie Sue was getting really scared now. She walked faster and faster. She couldn't run because of them shoes had high heels on, but she walked as fast as she could, and again she kept hearing that voice as she went down the road. But finally, she got to the Dewdrop Inn and ran inside where there were lots of lights and lots of company. And she didn't worry about it much anymore after that. Danced with every cowboy there all night long. And when it got to be real late and all the cowboys went home, she stayed around and flirted with that handsome piano player, Willie. But as they were sitting there all alone in that room by the piano talking, all of a sudden, she heard it again out on the front porch of the inn. "Jamie Sue, Jamie Sue, I still want to dance with you." Only now she heard another strange sound with it. Something that went step, drag, step, drag, step, drag. And all of a sudden, the front door of the inn was thrown open with a bam, and there stood Buster. Now, he'd been dead for months, and he didn't look very pretty. He was still wearing the ragged remains of his burial suit with graveyard dirt all over it, but the rest of him was mostly just bones and a skeleton skull with 2 empty eye sockets looking at her and a whole bunch of skeleton teeth grinning at her. And he began to walk across the floor of the inn. Step, drag, step, drag, step, drag, until he got real close to Jamie Sue and Willie, and then he smiled that big skeleton grin and said, "Jamie Sue, I'm here to dance with you." Now, Jamie didn't say a word. Her eyes were wide as saucers, but Willie jumped up and said, "Now, see here." And just then, Buster turned and looked at him and fixed him with that evil skeleton grin and said, "Play." All of a sudden, Willie found himself sitting down at that piano and playing as though his life depended on it. His fingers were flying across those keys as he played a ragtime tune. He couldn't help it. And Buster grabbed a hold of Jamie Sue and began to whirl her around on the floor like crazy, dancing faster than they'd ever danced before. And they danced and they danced and danced, and Jamie Sue couldn't get loose. And Buster kept dancing her faster and faster, till all of a sudden, Buster's right hand fell off. And the bones clattered to the floor, and Jamie Sue was dancing so fast she couldn't stop. Those diamond heels on her shoes ground those bones into dust. But Buster just kept on dancing. And they danced and they danced and they danced till pretty soon Buster's left arm fell off. And again, her heels clattered on the bones and ground him into dust. That's when Jamie Sue got an idea. So they began dancing faster and faster all over that dance floor, and Buster began dancing this crazy jig faster and faster. And pretty soon he was dancing all by himself. He let her go, and he just kept dancing and dancing, and pretty soon his left arm fell off. And then his leg fell off. And then his other leg fell off. And every time they fell off, Jamie Sue would run over and start dancing on him and grind him into bits with her heels, until finally there was nothing left but Buster's skull, rolling around and around and around on the floor. And he kept saying, "Come on, Jamie Sue, I still want to dance with you." But Jamie Sue gave that skull a kick and sent it flying across the floor and out the front door, and it went clattering down the front steps and rolling across the road into the swamp across the road. And there it sunk deep down in the miry ooze and was never seen again. But to this day, if you walk past the Dewdrop Inn and you listen carefully on a dark night, especially if it's Halloween, you can hear the sound of a voice coming from the swamp saying, "Jamie Sue, Jamie Sue, I still want to dance with you."